your mailbox. Answer the 2 questions on your ballot and put the completed ballot into your prepaid postage return envelope. You can return your ballot through the mail, at a ballot drop box, or at your local polling place or vote center. Learn more at vote.ca.gov. Your vote is your voice.
Hatch chilies are back at Stater Brothers. Pick up a 2-pound bag for $4.99. Roast them to unlock their incredible smoky, spicy, and savory flavor. But hurry, Hatch chili season is only once a year. Stop by Stater Brothers markets before they're gone.
Rate subject to change without notice. Minimum loan amount requirements apply. 60% loan to value and 740 FICO credit score. Certain restrictions apply. Subject to credit approval. NMLS 3290. Loans made or arranged pursuant to a California Finance Lenders Law license number 6036970. Equal housing lender.
Unbelievable. Home loan rates have dropped again at IntelliLoan. Today, IntelliLoan is offering a 1.875% rate in the APR with no points and no lender fees. Did you hear that? A 1.875%. Don't think you qualify? I bet you haven't called IntelliLoan. You don't have to have perfect credit to get this great home loan. So lock in this unbelievably low 1.875% fixed rate in APR with no points and no lender fees. So call IntelliLoan before the rates go up. Call them at 1-800-918-6200. That's 1-800-918-6200. Or just go to IntelliLoan.com.
IntelliLoan. Borrow smart.
Have you been wanting to spruce up your home, but are being told you'll have to wait weeks or even months for your furniture to come in? Don't wait. At Court Furniture Outlet, everything you see is in stock and ready for immediate delivery. And now, during Court Furniture Outlet's annual Labor Day sale, you'll save on everything you need to brighten up your home or make your workplace more comfortable. New upholstery in several styles and colors, including sleeper sectionals with storage, only $5.99. A huge selection of office furniture, including mesh pack office chairs from only $59. Plus great deals on bedroom sets, mattresses, dining, and so much more. Come into one of Southern California's best-kept secrets, where home stagers, designers, and savvy business professionals have been shopping for over 40 years. Visit Court Furniture Outlet in Glendale on Central, in Corona at the 91 and McKinley, and now Fountain Valley at Euclid and the 405. Or go to CourtFurnitureOutlet.com. That's C-O-R-T FurnitureOutlet.com.
Looking for your next investment? Want to cash out of stock market risk and volatility? Here are 8 reasons to consider NRIA's proven real estate development fund. Monthly cash flow payouts of 10% annualized and bonuses to 21% targeted. We strategically locate in lower risk, high demand areas people are moving to. New construction is short on supply. Real estate affords diversification and safety from stock market risk and volatility. We have substantial property assets selling out every month supporting your investment. Our short and long-term strategy provides for steady returns today and major upside targets. Our buildings are socially responsible, environmentally friendly, and pandemic hardened. We are an industry leader with a 15-year proven track record. Hedge against inflation and receive steady cash flow. Start your due diligence at nria.net or call 800-800-1414. That's 800-800-1414.
An offer of securities is only made by the NRIA Private Placement Memorandum. Read it first. Past performance does not guarantee future results. NRIA is a real estate development firm. Learn more at nria.net.
Sunday night at 8. L.A. County Sheriff Alex Villanueva, unscripted.
We could have the entire county cleared up in about 90 days. Wow. The entire county.
What's the sheriff going to talk about?
Who is he going to talk about?
If the elites of the party want to see me resign, you're going to be disappointed. I'm not going anywhere.
KFI gives the mic to L.A. County Sheriff Alex Villanueva this Sunday night at 8 on KFI.
KFI AM 640 live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. It's the Bill Handel Show. The morning crew is here and also co-hosting all morning from Fox News. It's Kat, Tim.
Yeah, hello. Hello.
Yes, acknowledge us. And we have here Douglas London, non-resident scholar at the Middle East Institute, author of the book The Recruiter, which distills his 34 years of working in the CIA. And Mr. London, go ahead and be ready to talk. You were a case officer. That means you recruited spies and ran spies, right?
Yeah, that was my principal job. It was recruiting agents and handling them clandestinely and stealing secrets, which was, a lot of fun.
Oh, good. And last part of your career was specifically in Afghanistan, so you have a lot of perspective on what's going on now. You talked about this strategy that groups like ISIS use, and you said it's low tech, but it's complex. So the complex has to do with the planning and the tactics because they don't have high-end equipment. But it's been a known approach for a while. Is this a tactic and an approach that we simply cannot learn from to counter?
It's hard to overcome it. Something happens and people are injured, the natural response is to go to them. There's clear understanding that this tactic is at play, but we see it regularly still. In fact, we've seen it recently in Baghdad again, where ISIS, the main branch of it there in Baghdad, used that recently on an attack against a Shia neighborhood. People are hurt, so people respond to it, and you can't just sit by. You try to take a calculated approach to how best to approach the scene. You're always looking for other devices when an explosion occurs because you expect the possibility. You're always looking for follow-on attacks. Al-Qaeda really brought this to the brand years ago, even before 9/11, where they looked at the multiple attack scenario. And in fact, they used that in the East Africa bombings, even in Nairobi, where there were some small arms fighting and explosions, which sadly brought a lot of people to the windows. So that when the explosive truss detonated, a lot of people died from the shrapnel. So you can understand it, you can know it, you can expect it, but it's really hard to defeat it absolutely.
And, obviously with this all happening at the airport, what does that say about getting people out that are still stuck there?
I'm sure right now, and as we've been speaking, and since yesterday, they've been looking at different protocols and how best to manage that flow. I've seen some references to putting people on buses where they can be screened well before they get to the airport, so that by the time the bus gets there, they've already gone through at least primary checks. But it's difficult based on the urgency, the timeline ticking down to 31 August, the number of people who are not all easily accessible. You have to understand, these people aren't even all in Kabul, let alone nearby the airport. So I would have some confidence they'll look at some different measures and different protocols. But the standard protocol for any U.S. platform in a conflict zone is to have multiple rings of security where they go through a series of local forces, police, army, what have you, and maybe a local guard force that belongs to the U.S. facility before they even get close to an American. That's simply not doable under these circumstances. And I know listening to General McKenzie and the president that they've been trying to work with the Taliban, but even if the Taliban has best intentions to do so, you're talking about a largely illiterate, untrained fighting force, some of whom might be being bribed by people. Lord knows I got through any number of checkpoints during my career with a pack of cigarettes or a couple of bucks, so it's not that hard for folks to kind of get through.
So there's this question of security and the fact that the enemy, if you will, has a tactic that seems impossible to control. Now it's clear we're not going to be in Afghanistan in a public way. But we are still going to want to have intelligence out of Afghanistan, which is your bailiwick supreme. Without getting into anything you're not allowed to get into, is it harder to maintain an intelligence presence in a country when there is no military presence there?
It's harder, but it's doable, and we have a fair bit of experience doing so. Consider Iraq under Saddam Hussein before the war. Consider Afghanistan before 9/11, where again there were no U.S. official presence on the ground, no embassies and such. So what we do under those cases, the intelligence community, we use a stay-behind program. Stay behind meaning in the sense that we will try to have already recruited agents who are already in place on the ground, providing reporting, but through impersonal means of communications. That is, they're not necessarily meeting a U.S. case officer. They may on occasion be able to get out of country to another city where they can have a personal meeting, but they've been equipped with the means to provide reporting, whether that means is electronic or otherwise. It's difficult, it's problematic, it's harder to get the same quality of intelligence, it's hard to get intelligence in a timely manner. Another method that is used, and it was clearly the foundation for the deployment of CIA officers who were on the ground in Afghanistan 15 days after 9/11, that was based on relationships with local partner forces. At the time, That was what the Northern Alliance was doing in the Panjshir Valley, which is in the northeast, and Mazar al-Sharif, which is in sort of more of the northwest, where we were already engaged with them. They were providing intelligence. We would have teams that would occasionally go to territory inside of Afghanistan under their control. Now, as we talked about, and as the realities that you're discussing, all that's going to be a lot harder now because a lot of those resistance groups are not even in the country themselves. They fled or they negotiated deals with the Taliban, and they went to some of the Central Asian states, or Iran for that matter. There's a small contingent in the Panjshir under the lead of Ahmed Massoud. His dad was the famous leader of the Northern Alliance who was assassinated by al-Qaeda 2 days before 9/11, and he's joined there by Amarullah Saleh, who was most recently vice president of Afghanistan, but is a long and experienced intelligence officer who knows all about running networks. So I have every confidence, because this is something we always planned for and always did, that we will maintain a collection capability, but it will be more challenging. And to manage expectations is key, because people are always speaking in the press about, well, we'll still fly drones, we'll still have satellites. Those don't work without eyes on the ground who could say where to look, for whom you're looking, what to look for, telephone numbers, computer addresses, locations. They don't just work in a vacuum. So that will all be a little bit harder, and that will also complicate what do we do with this intelligence. Let's say we identify a threat. It's developing Afghanistan. We actually know where it is. We know the players involved. There's a threshold to conduct a kinetic operation where you've got to be pretty confident that the intel is right and you're looking at the right target. And what's the other alternatives? Do we pass that intelligence to the Taliban, who will probably expose that and learn more about our capabilities and actually take no action? So it's going to be trickier, but it's not impossible, and we do have experience doing that in the past.
All right, well, the best we can do is keep our fingers crossed. Douglas London, thank you so much for joining us. The book, The Recruiter, you can pre-order that now wherever you get your books. It's The Recruiter, Spying and the Lost Art of American Intelligence, and I'm about a third of the way through it, and it's quite an amazing achievement there. I appreciate your time. Well, hopefully we can talk to you again soon.
Always my pleasure. Thanks again.
All right. Let's get a news update from Jennifer Jones-Lee, and then Kat Timpf and I will talk about how COVID is wrecking all the schools, but it's not maybe in the way you're assuming. This is KFI AM 640 live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app.
Church in Sun Valley that repeatedly violated COVID-19 restrictions may get a $400,000 payout from LA County. A potential settlement calls for the state to give Grace Church an additional $400,000 to settle the church's lawsuit. The suit claimed the COVID rules violated the church's constitutional right to religious freedom. LA County has already spent almost $1 million on the legal battle with the church. News is brought to you by veteran-owned Semper Solaris. Some restaurants in LA say the city and county are forcing indoor vaccine enforcement on business owners. Adam Englander with the Independent Hospitality Coalition says its members are looking for some kind of message from officials their customers can see.
They would prefer that rules that require signs, postings, or some sort of universal way in order to check for vaccination status.
The group says a common system to check vaccine status before making reservations would keep customers from getting angry before they come in. A judge says reducing charges in a high-profile rape case against a doctor from Newport Beach and his girlfriend is about the law, not politics.
Grant Robichaux and Sarissa Riley have been accused of drugging and raping multiple women in a case tied to the 2018 election for Orange County DA.
There's one count that carries with it a life sentence for both of them.
Lawyer Mike Fell says that count involves his client, one of 2 women out of 13 accusers.
That's kidnapped for the purpose of sexual assault.
Defense lawyer Philip Cohen says Robichaux and Riley were treated unfairly throughout.
And I truly believe an outrageous government conduct dismissal is appropriate.
The more than 3-year roller coaster case resumes in October with disputes over the validity of the original search warrant. At the OC Superior Court, Corbin Carson, KFI News.
The new Comic-Con Museum is scheduled to open in July of next year in San Diego. Organizers say construction on the first phase is underway and should be done by November. And the actor who delivered a famous line in a beloved movie has helped a woman cope with the loss of her dad.
My name is Inigo Montoya. They killed my father. Prepare to die.
Well, Amanda Webb says her dad was a big fan of the 1987 movie The Princess Bride, and the character of Inigo Montoya, played by Mandy Patinkin, was his favorite. Well, Webb made a TikTok video saying she heard a rumor that Patinkin had been thinking about his late father before doing the big scene. Webb's video made it to Patinkin, who made a video for Webb, telling her the story was true. He also asked Webb for her father's name so he could pray for him. Let's take a look at your drive on the 5.
All right, a couple of big problems we're going to cover for you. Good morning. Thanks for letting us ride along with you, as always, here in the San Fernando Valley. First, if you're leaving the Newhall Pass now, South 5, it's slow enough coming downhill, but South 5 still kind of jammed right around the 118, and of course the East and West 118 and the South 5, it's all mounted up. It's all due to a crash that was just south of Osborne. We had all lanes blocked there for a while. Been over up against the right town wall for, well, about 15 minutes now. So that's what it's all about. So once you get past that, it's okay. Even the South 170 is looking good. And driving to the West Valley now, coming out of Encino, westbound 110 at White Oak, we still have the 2 right lanes and the White Oak off-ramp all shut down. This is an early morning crash involving a rig. They're still trying to get that righted and up on its wheels and a trailer and all that stuff. The westbound Ventura Freeway now stops at Van Nuys Boulevard going through the 405. Now, if you want to pick up westbound Ventura Boulevard from Sepulveda over to Reseda, even with the signals, they're still in pretty good shape. Get on the West 101 to Reseda and be happy that you're listening to this radio program. We'll look at the Topanga Canyon Run and PCH coming down from Emily Shane Way. Don't go away. Injured in an accident, visit superwomansuperlawyer.com. Jeff KFI in the sky.
Well, you've heard me talk about my friends at Sunday and how they can sell your home fast without any repairs, without the hassle of dealing with showings, realtors, cleaning, or making upgrades. Now Sunday has made the process even easier for those who want to sell a property fast. Contact Sunday for your free no-obligation cash offer. They're going to visit your property, take photos, and do a 3D walkthrough. They'll package your property details and send it to the thousands of local investors in their database who are actively looking to buy properties. The average homeowner receives 12 offers on their property. It's quick and easy. Plus, you can close in as little as 10 days, or they have the flexibility to close in months. They can even give you a $20,000 cash advance, which will help with moving costs when you sell with Sunday. Go to sunday.com, SUNDAE.com, or phone them, 800-25-OFFER. Get a free no-obligation cash offer at sunday.com, SUNDAE.com. Sunday is a California licensed real estate broker, DRE license number 020-88298.
SoCal weather from KFI. Sunny and hot again today all through the weekend. Highs will be in the mid-70s to right at 80 at the beaches. Mid-80 to low 90s for Metro LA and OC. Upper 90s to right at 100 for the valleys in the IE. And a heat advisory stays in effect through Sunday night at 9 for the Inland Empire. We should feel things cool down by the first part of next week. We lead local. Live from the KFI 24-hour newsroom. I'm Jennifer Jones-Lee.
Gavin Newsom's report card. Education, 41st in the nation. Gasoline, highest in the nation. Sales tax, highest in the nation. Income tax, highest in the nation. Homeless, highest in the nation. Oh, and one of the first states in the nation to end cash bail. With his appalling record, Gavin Newsom couldn't get a busboy's job at the French Laundry restaurant. It's time for a change, because returning Gavin Newsom to office again and again and expecting different results is the definition of insanity. In this most critical election, your vote for Larry Elder will help make that monumental change, bring California back to its deserved glory, and take its rightful place at the head of the class.
ElectElder.com.
Ad paid for by Elder for Governor 2021.
Attention homeowners. Interactive Mortgage has dropped rates again to a rock bottom 1.75% rate in APR. Yes, it's incredible. A rock bottom 1.75%. And if that's not enough, Interactive Mortgage will even pay your title, escrow, and appraisal fees. That's right. No point and no fees. Absolutely zero. Zilch. None. So what are you waiting for? Call now and take advantage of these never-before-offered rates. A 1.75% rate in APR with no fees whatsoever. Call Interactive Mortgage now at 844-371-CASH. That's 844-371-CASH. 844-371-2274 or visit interactivemortgage.com.
Wing Point Corporation, DBA Interactive Mortgage, Equal Housing Lender. Terms and conditions apply. New clients only. Loan amount $350,000 to $548,250. Minimum FICO of 740 and maximum LTV of 60%. All loans subject to underwriting approval, and not all applicants will qualify. Loans made or arranged pursuant to California Finance Law License number 603F938. NMLS number 302352.
KFI AM 640.
An iHeart radio station.
24-hour news. More stimulating talk.
KFI AM 640 live everywhere on the iHeart Radio app. It is the Bill Handel Show. He's recovering from that heart valve surgery, and we'll talk to him at 9 o'clock this morning, see what he has to say about the day's events. And co-hosting the show all morning, Fox News contributor, dispenser of life advice on her own show, Sincerely Kat, on Fox Nation, and co-host of Gutfeld on Fox News, Kat Timpf is here.
Yes, I am.
Oh,
yes, I am.
Yeah, okay. The schools are in a mess, and it is because of COVID, but it's because of also some things that are adjacent, I guess, to the issue of COVID itself. And one of the things is the enrollment in the public schools has cratered.
Yeah. And that's not surprising because it's really been a disaster after, this is still going on, saying, oh, maybe kids will be in the classroom, maybe not. We don't know what we're doing. And the teachers' unions, they like telecommute. The teachers like telecommuting, I think, has a lot to do with it. I mean, there's countless incidences of seeing a teacher saying, oh, I don't feel safe going back in the classroom. And then you see, posting vacation pics from somewhere else. And I think it's a really great argument for school choice in the sense that, you don't just have to go to this one school because that's where you live and you don't get a say in your child's education. Parents want to have a more active role in their kids' education.
And I think that the parents who are able to financially, a lot of the kids that disappeared from the public schools are now in private schools because the parents were able to make that happen. That's not available to everybody.
Right.
Full school choice almost certainly would have to require some kind of voucher system or some other subsidy so that any parent could choose a private school, right?
Yeah, and I absolutely. I mean, any other, a lot of jobs, if you do a bad job, you get fired. And here, you don't. And I think also it's been, with kids learning at home, parents have maybe started paying more attention, because it gives parents the opportunity to basically be in the classroom, which they didn't have before. So I really think that this one-size-fits-all in general for education has never made sense to me because, students are individuals. They're going to have different needs. They're going to learn in different ways. What may work well for one may not work well for another. So I think more options is a good thing.
And there is independent study is a thing that's available, but again, like the private schools, independent study, who's doing a lot of independent study successfully are child actors, musicians, and children of very rich people who can afford someone to be with the kid all day to do the independent study. Again, it's not necessarily available to kind of normal average parents. One thing that's really weird about this drop in school enrollment is you'd think what we would be doing is we'd say this is how much the enrollment's dropped in the public schools, and here's how many of those students are in private school, and here's how many of those students are doing independent study. But there's a big contingent of students who have just disappeared. They didn't transfer to private school. They're not registered as doing independent study. They're just out there somewhere. Now what do we do?
Yeah, and because basically this was sort of a surprise. If you're a parent, you have a kid that's school age, you've been, walking around this entire time thinking, okay, they're going to be at school during the day, Monday through Friday. And then this pandemic hits, which we've all, sort of become accustomed to taking that into consideration. But if you could, talk to me 2.5 years ago about this, I would say, I would think you were joking. And all of a sudden, parents who work, hey, surprise, here's your kid, the schools are closed. That is a huge, huge issue. I don't have kids, okay? I have no idea. I mean, I can't imagine, and I know it's been a struggle for a lot of parents who work. Say, okay, well, what do you mean? What am I supposed to do?
So I guess they're literally just not learning anything. A lot of people would say that the remote learning was as close to not learning anything as you can get.
Yeah.
But now they're really not learning anything, and I guess, you know what? There's going to be a growth industry in being a truant officer.
Yeah.
For a while.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And, there really needs to be so much more of a focus on this, I think. Because, you think about not just, the social aspect as well, and kids. I have friends who have kids who are really, were doing well mentally, and they've started to struggle, not going into the classroom, if they're more extroverted, if they're more social. It's a really, I don't think we talk about the students enough when we talk about the schools. I think everything's so political. I think that, it's the teachers' unions versus, I think, we don't talk about the kids enough. It's politicians saying, okay, well, these people are this, and they bicker, and the kids are just, getting completely left out of the conversation when that's who it's supposed to be about.
Yeah. All right, listen, let's get a news update from Jennifer Jonesley, and then, Kat, you're going to tell us what some businesses are getting for just $10 an hour. And if you're a worker, this is bad. It's bad news what they're getting for $10 an hour. This is KFI AM 640 live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app.
More than 34,000 people who live near Lake Tahoe in Northern California are under evacuation orders. It's because of weather conditions that could lead to dangerous fire activity over the next few days. The fire burning south of Lake Tahoe has already burned more than 210 square miles and is just 12% contained. The Federal Reserve says it'll start dialing back its ultra-low interest rate policy soon, as long as hiring in the U.S. continues to improve. And the jail in New York, where Jeffrey Epstein hanged himself in 2019, is closing, at least temporarily. They say they need to deal with a bunch of issues like poor security and deteriorating infrastructure. We'll take a look at your drive with VKFI in the sky and the Topanga Canyon next.
Have you been denied a home loan or refinance because you're self-employed, earn 1099 income, or even a real estate investor? You're missing out. Most lenders make approval seem impossible, especially if you're self-employed. Stop watching everyone take advantage of the lowest mortgage rates in history while you're stuck on the sidelines. Accelerate Capital, the premier lender designed for the self-employed. Our approval process is based on common sense, using bank statements, 1099 income, profit loss statements, rental income, or even stated income to qualify at the lowest rates available. Fast. Conventional lenders cannot do this. When others say no, we say yes. Call 800-811-9702, 800-811-9702, or visit acceleratecapital.com.
EXCELE, acceleratecapital.com.
Equal housing lender. Call for details. NMLS ID number 1165716. Not all will qualify. California DFBI license number 41DBO45150. Additional restrictions may apply. Loans made or arranged pursuant to the California Residential Mortgage Lending Act.
Are you ready for fall, but your house isn't? Luckily, Lowe's has what you need and the prices you want to get your front yard, backyard, every yard ready to host this season. Gardening and grilling and leaf blowing starts at Lowe's.
SoCal weather from KFI. Sunny and hot again today with temperatures this weekend from the mid-70s at the coast to the low 100s inland. This report is brought to you by Lowe's. Let's look at that drive through Topanga Canyon.
You betcha. Well, pretty good drive now. There's a lot of people that like to do this drive. It's rather peaceful at times, I should add. But if you're coming off the eastbound 101 at Topanga, you want to use Topanga all the way down to PCH, pretty easy drive. Just be careful going through Fernwood. And Pacific Coast Highway South, my goodness, from Emily Shane Way all the way down to Santa Monica. It's great. I caution you, be very careful on PCH with all this gorgeous weather. There's a lot of people at the beach and crossing PCH where they shouldn't, so be careful. Now, I do want to warn you about quite a problem on the westbound 101 going through Encino. At White Oak, the two right lanes on the off-ramp, the White Oak off, have been blocked since early this morning. A long, complicated crash. Bottom line's back up to Van Nuys Boulevard. westbound Burbank Boulevard, even Ventura Boulevard, anywhere past Sepulveda, over to Reseda. Get on or back on the westbound one to Reseda, and you'll be happy. Leaving the East LA interchange, or trying to, South Golden State at 4th, before the interchange itself. We got a lane block there, backing up from, well, just a little bit south of the Glendale Freeway. More on that coming up, and no problem on the West 60 around San Gabriel. Injured in an accident, visit Superwoman, superlawyer.com. Jeff Fogg, KFI in the sky.
This report is sponsored by Mattress Firm. Get a king bed for a queen price at Mattress Firm. Save up to $500 during the best Labor Day sale ever on top-rated brands like Sealy and Sleepy's. Plus, get a free adjustable base when you spend $6.99 or more.
Where do SoCal drivers go when they want to upgrade to a super new Honda? The Norm Reeves Honda Superstore. Right now, shop super prices on a super selection during the Honda Summer Sales Event. Is your Honda lease ending soon? Return it to any of our 5 lease return super centers in the Cerritos Auto Square, Huntington Beach, West Covina, the Irvine Auto Center, and Vista. You'll get a super experience whether you lease with us or not. Upgrade today and get super prices on a super selection. All backed by our price protection guarantee, which states if you can find the same new Honda for less within 5 days, Norm Reeves will pay you the difference or buy your vehicle back. Visit our super award-winning Norm Reeves Honda Superstore locations in Huntington Beach, West Covina, the Irvine Auto Center, and the #1 Honda store in the world in the Cerritos Auto Square. Plus, we're now open in Vista. Shop online at normreeves.com.
As for Global Honda Vehicle Sales 2020.
When it comes to selling a house, the process can suck. I'm here to help you make the process not suck by telling you about opendoor.com. See, when we sold our house, I thought all you did was call the realtor and they sort of picked up the ball and did everything from there. I was so wrong. We ended up doing all the repairs ourselves, landscaping. We were patching walls and fixing wood and things I didn't know anything about. Well, when you go to opendoor.com, it's going to take all those rough edges off selling a house. You're not going to have to do those repairs yourself. You're not going to have to do a bunch of prep work or deal with a bunch of intrusive showings. When you go to opendoor.com, they just ask you a few really simple questions about your house, compare your information to other houses in the neighborhood, and come up with a real competitive offer for your home. So don't put yourself through all the work and the stress that we put ourselves through. Sell your home the new-fashioned way at opendoor.com. Offer eligibility varies. Open Door is represented by Open Door Brokerage, Inc., license number 020611130 in California, and Open Door Brokerage, LLC in its other markets. Sell your home the new-fashioned way at opendoor.com/myoffer.
If you've been avoiding the dentist for years because you have dental anxiety, or you're afraid of getting bad news about your teeth because it's been so many years, here's a solution. Conning Dental specializes in people who are afraid of the dentist, people that need major work from years of dental neglect. They can do all your dental work while you sleep. They'll put you in a gentle twilight sleep or give you full anesthesia and repair years of neglect in 1 or 2 appointments. You wake up to a beautiful new smile. It's a dental treatment done without anxiety. And they'll do dental implants, crowns, root canals, smile makeovers, new permanent teeth in a day, all that. They've rebuilt smiles for over 52 years, 4 generations of dentistry. $500 off on any sleep treatment. You can now sleep through any procedure. Offer expires August 31st. Restrictions apply. Call 888-640-SMILE, 888-640-SMILE, 888-640-SMILE.
Cutting dental, simply the fix. Cutting dental, simply the fix.
Impact Mortgage Corp. DBA Cash Call Mortgage. NMLS ID 128231. Equal housing lender. Not licensed in all states including New York. Offer based on loans over $250,000. Call 855-657-9910 for licensing terms and restrictions.
What's better than a mortgage interest rate and APR in the twos? How about a no closing cost mortgage loan with an interest rate and APR in the twos? That's right. We have no closing cost loans here at Cash Call Mortgage. We pay the title, escrow, and appraisal fees. So if you're looking to save a little cash on your monthly mortgage payment, call Cash Call Mortgage today. Our quotes are always free. If your mortgage rate APR is not in the twos, Cash Call Mortgage could lower your interest rate and save you some cash. What are you waiting for? With low rates and no closing cost options, now is the time to refinance your mortgage. For a free quote to see if you qualify, go to cashcallmortgage.com or call us today. Call 800-633-0861. That's 800-633-0861. 800-633-0861.
You never hear Newsom say one word about the tens of thousands of businesses he closed. He never says one word about the $30 billion he threw out the window, paying off unemployment claims to criminals around the world.
John and Ken, weekdays at 2.
You're bad at your job.
On KFI.
And I wanna feel something again. I just wanna feel something again.
KFI AM 640, live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. A special warm welcome to new listeners to KFI who are here because co-hosting the show all morning is Pat Timp from Fox News. And, of course, a warm welcome to you as well.
Thank you.
Now, businesses have found kind of a sweet deal. Tell us what's going on, Meet, Moot, Mop, or...
Absolutely, yeah. So there's a robotics startup that is renting out robots for $10 an hour to factories. As we've all heard about in the news, you know, there's a demand for higher wages among workers, and then there's, of course, a labor shortage as well, because for a lot of people, it's actually, you can make more money by staying home and not working than you can by going to work at a minimum wage job. So Vortec Technologies, even for it has these robots, even if companies can't afford to buy a robot, renting them out for just $10 an hour, that's cheaper than it costs. And, you know, these are things that are going to happen, right? I mean, I know that working minimum wage jobs sucks, because I have done it. But with technology, they might just replace you with a robot.
Well, robots can work 24/7.
Yeah, they don't need a break.
No.
They don't need to go to Playa del Carmen for spring break.
No, they don't need any of that. And the thing is, the barrier up until now for smaller businesses, it's way too expensive to purchase robots, and then you've got to maintain them. So these startups are filling the gap, because not only do they give you the robot, and they'll build the robot to be exactly what you need it to do, right? It's not like you have to take one off the rack.
Right, absolutely. They have all of these, and of course, that was the one thing stopping a lot of these companies, is they can never afford to purchase a robot. Something goes wrong, they got to repair the robot. That could get more expensive.